Welcome, another episode, Dr. James Beckett Sports Card Insights here with Chris Carlin. We're going to talk about what's going on now and in the future with Upper Deck. He's the Senior Manager of Customer Experience and is going to tell us what I would imagine that most of my friends and listeners are customers experienced with Upper Deck. And it's like any other of the card companies, it's 99% positive, and Chris is probably trying to make that 100%. But I've got other sponsors. I've got also Topps and Panini, as well as Heritage Auctions, Huggins and Scott Auctions, Burbank Sports Cards, Mike's Stadium Sports Cards, as well as ComC, that's comc.com, as well as Beckett Media, which includes Beckett Grading and Beckett Authentication. But we're going to focus on Upper Deck. Today, we're going to hear from Chris, find out what Upper Deck we're going to find out what Chris is excited about after 22 years at Upper Deck. You've seen a lot, but tell me why 2020 is going to be an even better year for Upper Deck. And welcome to the show, Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about a lot of things, actually. I think one of the biggest things that has happened recently was the signing of Anthony Davis as an exclusive athlete for Upper Deck for our authenticated memorabilia. To be able to have both him and LeBron James now is awesome. And I got to tell you, it has been a blast watching this Lakers team to start off the NBA season. So to be able to have authenticated collectibles from those two superstars is amazing. And they're on quite a tear to start off the season, and it'll be fun to watch as we move into the NBA playoffs. But with anything, this November time period is always when I feel like hockey collectors really get up and get excited because Upper Deck Series 1 releases. And one product that has been a staple of trading cards for, as long as I can remember, is Upper Deck Hockey, where you've got the Young Guns. This is the 30th year of licensed Upper Deck NHL collectibles. So it makes you feel a little old, but yeah, the 1991 season was the first year, and now we've got it still cooking along. So it's pretty exciting. We do a lot of shows right about this time. So we were just out at the Fall Expo in Toronto. We were just out at the Western Canada Sports Collectors Convention out in Langley, right outside of Vancouver. And we do that to support the new release of Upper Deck Series 1. But it is amazing to see how much fun our collectors have opening up that product, because our team led by Grant Sandground, has done an amazing job of adding a lot of Easter eggs and surprise content that's not listed on the packaging. So your pack opening experience is incredibly dynamic. One of the cool things that we did to celebrate this 30th anniversary is we bought back every base card and every rookie card from the first 15 years of Upper Deck NHL licensed products, stamped them with a 30th anniversary logo, and made them each, also numbered them 1 of 1. So you're going to find some of those buybacks.
Oh, wow.
And for Series 2 coming out in February, we have the next 15 years. So that was a really cool and unique addition to the product. And it's been fun seeing people open up the packs and be like, what is this? We also have
hey, Chris, was that a Sand Grant idea, or was that a suggestion from a listener, or did you have a focus group? How did you come across or decide on doing that? Was that there's a group decision? Because that sounds cool. I think people would really like that.
We've got a product development team that is led by Grant, but there's about eight folks on there, and they also just spend a lot of time pounding the phones and talking to shops and getting feedback. So that's been really cool. The other idea that they had and executed was a 30th anniversary set that has Connor McDavid, Wayne Gretzky, and Patrick Waugh, 30 cards of each of them in each of the 30 designs from the Upper Deck base set.
Oh, yeah.
It's really funny. I found it very funny this weekend watching collectors open packs, and they're like, what's this card from 97, 98 doing in here? And you're like, no, that's the 30th anniversary card. And it's a lot of fun to see. So that pack opening experience is great. And if you haven't tried out Upper Deck Series 1, get out to maybe one of the sponsors of the show, maybe Mike's or Burbank Sports Cards, and check it out.
Hey, when you were deciding to do Anthony Davis, did LeBron help make that happen? Or was that, are you doubling down on the Lakers? And after all, Luka's our main man here. What did you have give any consideration to Luka Doncic?
Oh, we love Luka. We did a lot with him last year for his rookie season, mostly on the trading card side. And just watching him, he's absolutely on our team's radar. But yes, it's when you have LeBron James, you really look at who could you put alongside him. And when we had him with the Heat, it was obviously Dwayne Wade. When he moved to the Cavs, we had Kevin Love. And now that he's with the Lakers, Anthony Davis seemed like the right player for sure. So it's doubling down on the Lakers for sure, but it's also adding support to our main spokesperson, LeBron James.
Well, it sounds like a coup. Well done.
Well, it's important when you have a player in a market as big as Los Angeles that you have the nice pieces to go along with it. And I think that's what the GM was thinking too. So we're just acting as much a GM would.
Yeah, when you're out there at these, you were talking about a couple of Canadian shows that I used to do, maybe not every single time, but back in my heyday, I was hitting certainly the Toronto show at least once or twice a year. And but you're up there and you're making yourself available to those passionate fans and collectors. Are you coming back with your ears ringing with good ideas, or is it
Oh
you
my
get
God.
99% positive? And do you get 1 out of 100 that's a crank that you just have to tolerate, or
Oh,
do you
no,
come back with?
people that have very legitimate issues. You can't package these cards, by hand. So yeah, there's cards
Yeah.
that get damaged during the packaging process, and we want to be up and there so we could help people out who have that experience, or maybe something's not firing right, and you only get 4 cards per pack instead of 6. So you get a little bit. Honestly, I came back. I've got a whole email I've been working on the last 2 days to send to our product development team, just of feedback I got or unique ideas. Other collectibles I saw that were kind of unique that might be something we want to look at. So it's a lot of it is kind of that connect to collectors and listening to them and letting them feel valued. I get a ton out of these shows in terms of what collectors are saying, what's selling, what players are selling, and bring that back in so we can formulate it for our plans for new products.
Chris, you're making Upper Deck sound a lot more nimble than you were letting on. So I think that's a good thing. But what I like is you got 30 plus years of history that is rich, and
Sure.
any of these products that draw on that, it's the same kind of recipe that Topps has done with their heritage and other kinds of sets. But I think that's a winning formula when you've got 30 years of great memories of.
Well, I think the winning formula is the fact that, Upper Deck was founded as the collector's choice. And it is incredibly important that we don't lose sight of that. And we always listen to what our collectors say. And we are available to engage with them on social media platforms like Twitter, like Facebook, like Instagram, available, for a phone call if they want to talk, for email. So we try to make ourselves incredibly available to our collectors because that's who we're making cards for and that's who we want to support.
Well, that's daunting to be the collector's choice because I think in some sense each card company is trying to do that as well. But Upper Deck's always had a distinctive niche, and I think that's I think that's good. What what are you most excited about 2020? I mean, if hockey is kind of a fall winter sport, so what's going to be exciting next spring and summer?
Yeah, well, there's going to be some new NHL releases. There's 2 I really like. NHL Credentials. There's some mystery content in there, and I think that might be a real sleeper product. Allure is a real high end kind of technology focus, kind of like O-Pee-Chee Platinum on steroids a little bit. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
But one of my favorite products to open is Goodwin Champions, and it's
yeah,
a product that has it features just a variety of different content from all sorts of athletes. It always has our top spokespeople in it, like LeBron, like Ben Simmons, like Michael Jordan, like Wayne Gretzky, like Serena Williams. But they have some new things that they've been working on. We have a saying here. It's kind of like keep Austin weird. We like to say keep Goodwin Champions weird because we like it to be dynamic.
Yeah.
We like it to get people
Yeah.
talking. So there's some things that they're doing that are really cool. They have some stamp relics that they're going to be doing, some Upper Deck or U.S. Currency coin relics. Different manufactured patch cards. There's a new Michael Jordan relic set that's going to be in that product, and the exquisite signature kick autographs will be back, and those are just always amazing. So I always get really excited about Goodwin Champions releasing. It's a product that does extremely well at the National Sports Collectors Convention. We usually have some uncut sheets available there of the product as well. So that would be the one that I'm most excited about, and I'm excited to get back to the National in Atlantic City. We have some big things planned for that show, and man, I don't know if your listeners have been, but it is definitely 100% worth booking your travel now and making it a fun vacation because of any show I attend, that is the one where you can literally spend 3 to 4 days and not see everything.
Absolutely. But, 88 National was in Atlantic City. That was kind of the birth of Upper Deck.
Yeah, that was where we handed out the promotion.
Atlantic City with Dwayne Bison and Wally Joyner
Yeah.
Cards. That was amazing. And, people didn't know. What is this? And it looked interesting. But, when it was going to be $1 a pack, people said, I don't know if that'll work. But
yeah, what was cool is we reconnected with Wally recently and had him do a few appearances for us around our 30th anniversary, and to hear some of his stories about how, he was literally playing baseball but also, trying to get the key members of the Players Association on board. So he would go play a game at Camden and then go meet Cal Ripken Jr. after the game to try to convince him to give Upper Deck a chance at a license. So it was really interesting to hear his stories about the days of Upper Deck.
But then that kind of loophole was closed. I mean, the players were not allowed to, I don't think, to be equity investors in the thing. But they helped get it started, and that was good. And I'm so glad. Chris, thanks for being on with me. I've got one last question for you. Really enjoying hearing what Upper Deck has cooking for 2020 and some of the things you're excited about. But the question, when you were mentioning that, the Goodwin product, and are collectors telling you that they really like complexity? The more complex, the better? Or is there some optimum amount of complexity? If you turn the clock way back, and even the early days of Upper Deck, the products were much simpler. But now are collectors demanding, requesting, or appreciating these very, very complex products?
Well,
or is there any pushback from that?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's looking for things to be more complicated. What I have found and what our team has found is that collectors are all very different. And it's critical that you have an offering for every type of collector. And while some collectors, with Goodwin in particular, while some collectors may open a pack and say, I don't think I really like this insert, there are people that do. And I think they appreciate the fact that there's value in the product where maybe if it's not their thing, there's enough collectors out there, and our team has done their research to know that there are people that want certain inserts. Like one of the ones I'm kind of scratching my head over are these manufactured cat relics. I'm more of a dog person myself, but they're manufactured for all the different types of cats, patch cards. And while that is not my bag, I guarantee you there will be high secondary market sales on those cards because people either want one of the cards that looks like their cat or they're cat lovers. So there's a reason why those cat calendars sell like crazy every year, right?
I don't understand it, but I hear what you're saying.
Exactly.
So again, if the complexity leads to bonus content, especially unadvertised bonus content, nobody'd be against that. But it just makes it difficult when you open up the product and you've got all these different types of cards that you have difficulty looking them up and knowing which ones are more or less valuable. Who are the superstars within the cat family? I'm not sure. Dogs. Exactly.
That also lends back to something else that we talked about earlier, and that's customer engagement and customer education, and making sure that we are one of the few right now that I see actively engage and respond to customers when they have questions on Twitter or Facebook or over the phone. It's very important to me that we're giving our collectors and our fans some pretty instant gratification with regard to queries or questions that they have there. Yeah.
Well, you heard it from Chris Carlin, whose job is to try to help you have a good experience. So, Chris, thanks for being on. Keep up the good work. He's available, I guess, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these different
I'm not too tough to track down.
Not tough to track down. But again, thanks for the good work and thanks for the report on Upper Deck. Again, we appreciate you listeners and collectors and friends. We'll be back again tomorrow with another episode, and we'll talk with Chris again at some point in the future as well. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, listeners. See you tomorrow.